Dupont, NYLON, Orlon, and Dacron. The modern fibers you know best present The Dupont Show. With June Allyson.
Isn't that an amazing little convenience? Just one flick of your finger. And light floods the room. You know, it's remarkable, the things we take for granted. Hardly ever giving them a second thought. Can you imagine what it would be like without the many conveniences we've all become so used to? What if there were no telephones, radios, no electricity? What if there wasn't any television? Would be like living in the Stone Ages, wouldn't it? Of course, there are less obvious things we take for granted, too. For instance, the wonderful world of our senses. The fragrance of a fresh rose, the taste of a thick hamburger, the 1,000,001 beautiful pictures nature paints for us. All those wonderful things were brought home to me when I first read the script of our play tonight, So Dim the Light. And in it I play the part of a girl who is suddenly thrown into a strange new world. A world in which everything she ever knew suddenly ceases to exist. But first, let's think about spring and how you can stay lovelier during the busy season.
Spring is still a few weeks away, but she's ready for it. A new spring wardrobe to see her through the busy season ahead. As chairman of the hospital fund drive, she has to look her best on all occasions. First, there's the kickoff meeting, and she's the picture of confidence in this pretty spring dress made with Dacron polyester fiber. Later, with the campaign in full swing, she's asking for contributions from leading citizens. She wears a suit made with Dacron, lovely as spring itself. At the victory banquet, with the drive a great success, she wears a beautiful party dress of Dupont nylon. All season, she's had the poise and confidence that come from dressing right. Whatever your plans for spring, to look and feel your best, look for the fiber first. Look on the label for Dupont, NYLON, Orlon, Dacron.
Hello again, this is Army Archer speaking to you from the lobby of the world-famous Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, bringing you the highlights of the exciting premiere of Ursula Black, starring Nancy Evans. Great and the near great. All come to pay tribute tonight to lovely Nancy Evans.
Hear that, Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Yes.
Can't get tired of that, can you?
Oh, you can get tired of it. But I'm not.
All of Filmland is here tonight to, ladies and gentlemen, one of Hollywood's most distinguished stars, Mr. Robert Taylor. Nice to see you, Bob, and thanks for dropping by to say hello to our television audience.
My pleasure.
Bob, Miss Evans appeared opposite you recently in The Girl from Maine, isn't that correct?
Yes, and she was wonderful, Army. She's a beautiful girl and a fine actress, and I think she should be nominated for an award this year.
I'm sure she will. Thanks again for stopping by, Bob.
Thank you.
Mr. Robert Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest.
If I can break in a moment, I know the ladies will want to hear what Miss Evans will be wearing this evening. I spoke to Miss Evans' dress designer at the studio just this afternoon, and he told me he designed a stunning pink full-length ball gown with a strapless top trimmed in iridescent sequins and beads.
Not too long, Mr. Reynolds. Kurt?
Hi, honey.
Oh, I was beginning to wonder where everybody was. How's Danny?
A couple of days ago, you'd asked me that. I'd have said, just fine. But from now on, it's only facts. You think you can handle it?
He's dead.
He's dead. Nowadays, doctors have some new theories about some things. Used to be they'd lie to a patient for fear the shock would... You know, sunny side of the street time. Now they tell you things straight out. It seems to make the adjustment easier.
Kurt, what are you talking about?
I've known you ever since you were a kid, ever since you came to the studio, honey, you know. 20 years. 20 years I've now told you the truth. When your dad died, we kept it from you as long as we could. Same thing when your mother died. We were busy doing a job. We were creating a myth. America's darling. The envy and aspiration of every kid in the country. Even all those parts you played. The resourceful working girl who gets the boss, the little country girl who triumphs over the big city. Nancy, 20 years. We've kept you in a dream world.
I've never complained.
I wish you had. I wish you'd stood up to us once and been your own girl.
I don't think I like this new technique for patients.
Nancy. We've had the country's top specialist in to examine you. You're blind. Not just for a while. From now on. For as long as you live.
Mr. Reynolds.
Just one more minute, nurse. I told you this so you can start to face it. You see, you're on kind of a spot now, honey. You've been a shining example for so long that they kind of expect you to breeze right through this and come up smiling. You know, the old happy ending. I'm going to come back tomorrow. We'll talk some more about this.
Kurt, what are we going to do?
This one, Nancy, you decide for yourself. Steps here, honey. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. That's all. Door.
Miss Evans' medical reports appear to be in order. However, there are a few tests of our own we must make.
What sort of test?
Orientation, mainly. The use of her other senses. Hearing, for instance.
Well, Nancy's got great hearing. Believe me, Miss Harrison, I've seen her dub a whole reel of film to playback in less than an hour.
Nevertheless, we must make these tests.
Sure.
Oh, Mr. Douglas, this is Miss Evans.
Miss Evans?
You walk very quietly, Mr. Douglas. I didn't hear you come in.
It's the crepe soles.
All of our instructors wear them, Miss Evans. They simulate the padded feet of our dogs.
Come with me now, Miss Evans. We're going outside. Take my arm.
Kurt?
Oh, it's okay, honey. You go along with Mr. Douglas. Now, Miss Evans, your left hand. Now take it and grip it tightly. This is the handle. The same as every guide dog wears attached to her harness. I'm going to lead you around with it. Hold it very tightly. Now keep your arm down straight. Don't let it get ahead. Don't let me get ahead of you. Keep it always tightly here. When it's the dog, she'll pull very tightly. Don't let it get out here. Keep your arm quite at your side. Now. Directly in front of you are some steps. I want you to feel for them and come up.
We're going down.
When I stop, you stop, always. Now, just to your right is an obstacle. Feel for it and tell me what it is. Lower.
Could it be a fence?
Nancy.
Kurt?
Here I am, honey. You did fine, honey. You did just fine. Well, I'll be going now.
Oh, no. Kurt. Stay, just till we see how it goes.
Now, honey, listen to me. I got a rule here at Guiding Eyes, a good rule, too, about visitors. Just on Sundays and then only for a couple of hours. So you just forget about the studio and Hollywood and forget about all of us.
I couldn't forget you.
No, honey, just for a month. Just pretend we don't exist.
Please, Kurt, couldn't you just stay for a while, just till I'm finished?
Bye, honey.
Kurt! Kurt! Moving day.
Nice neighbors. Calling to say welcome. They know we're tired, so they're bringing us some supper. That means they're coming here. I wasn't worried for long. As soon as our neighbors saw our living room furniture, they admired it. They thought it was brand new. From the very first, we've been proud of it. You see, our upholstery is made with Dupont upholstery nylon, so it keeps its gorgeous texture and color. And it's a real pleasure to know our upholstery is right for our home.
Whatever fabric and color combination is best for your home, you'll find it made with Dupont upholstery nylon, including damasks, tweeds, metallizé, and many others. Just be sure to look for the fiber first. Look for fabrics of Dupont upholstery nylon.
Miss Evans? Aren't you hungry?
Not very.
Well, it's not bad, really. Of course, if you really have no appetite, I was just afraid you might be a little embarrassed.
Embarrassed?
Well, some people are at first. Take peas, for example. I can't get them off the plate. When you do get hungry, you might try a system that the Army worked out for blind GIs. Think of your plate as a clock. And the waitress is here. Place the food on your plate in positions corresponding to the numbers on the face of a clock. Meat is from 6 to 8 o'clock, and potatoes from 9 to 12. Vegetables from 12 to 3.
What's 3 to 6?
It's usually a surprise. Why don't you try it? It's very good tonight. It's tomato aspic.
I'm not hungry.
All right. How about some coffee and a cigarette?
Thank you.
A coffee pot is at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, Miss Evans. Or do you want me to pour it for you? Always reach high, then come down.
How do I find my cup?
Well, that's where coffee cups always are. Find it with your left hand. Put your fingers all the way around it, and then bring it up to the lip, and then pour.
I can hear it filling.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say.
It's good.
Now then, for the next 2 days, you will call me Juno. That's our code name for a symbolic guide dog. In this case, it'll be me. I'll lead you around the streets, but I won't speak to you, except to correct you. And you won't hear me because of the crepe soles. You'll just feel me tugging on the harness. Take it now in your left hand. I'll stop at all curbs and crossings. I'll walk slowly over rough ground, broken pavement. I'll guide you around all obstacles. In other words, I'll do just what your guide dog is trained to do. But I won't move until you command me. The commands are very simple. Juno, forward. Juno, sit. Juno left, Juno right, and so forth. We'll get into the rest of them later. And when I obey, and this is the most important thing of all, you must reward me by saying, "Good girl, Juno." Stand straight, Miss Evans. With your head erect. You have one hand on your independence, actually. You should show it.
Why don't you move?
You haven't given me a command.
Juno, forward.
And don't ever do that. When your dog stops, you stop in the exact spot. Another step can put you in front of a bus. Now, what have you forgotten?
I don't know.
I stopped you at a curb, didn't I?
Oh. Yes.
I'm waiting to be complimented.
Good girl, Juno.
When you compliment them, Miss Evans, you've got to mean it.
Good girl, Juno.
Better.
Juno, forward. Stewart?
Good morning, Miss Evans.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Douglas. No first names.
Well, that's one of the rules.
You know, it's funny. I always know it's you, even with your crepe soles.
This morning is a special morning. The most important thing in your life is waiting just outside the door. Not quite 2 years old, weighs 70 pounds, her name is Lady.
Oh, no, I'm not ready. It's all right when you lead me, but I'm just not ready.
Now, when I bring Lady in, she'll run over to you. I'll give you some dog candy, you give it to her, make a big fuss over her. She'll love it.
Please, please believe me. I need you, not a dog.
Miss Evans, this is the dog candy.
Lady? What kind of a dog is she?
German Shepherd.
What color?
Oh, light tan.
Ah. Oh, good girl. Oh, good girl. This is like skating.
Reach out with your right toe and find the curb. When the street is clear, Lady will take you across.
Good girl. You mean if a car was coming and I said, Lady, forward, she wouldn't go?
There's a car coming now. Why don't you try it?
Lady, forward. Oh, that's a good girl. Lady, forward.
Well, one of the most important things you can learn at Guiding Eyes, Miss Evans, is the simplest. It's almost absurdly simple. You've got to remember that you're blind and the dog can see.
Oh, good girl. Lady, forward. Lady, left.
The next really most important thing that you can learn is that you're going to become more aware of everything than you've ever been before. No more daydreams. They're a luxury only the sighted can afford. As you walk, learn to listen for landmarks. The voices of children in schoolyards. Bells that ring up gasoline in filling stations. And filling stations, usually, are on or near corners. You won't need a calendar anymore. Church bells on Sunday, the mailman at the box every weekday. Factory whistles, sometimes noon, sometimes evening. There's no end to it. If you'll just reach out for it.
Lady, wait. What do you look like, Mr. Douglas?
I don't know. I mean...
Then tell me, how do I learn things like that? I don't care about filling stations or mailmen. Stuart, I want to look at you.
Miss Evans, I'm going to wait here and watch you work Lady. I want you to take her to the corner and around the block. I'll wait for you here.
Lady, forward. Oh, that was a short block. Lady, right. Lady, right.
Haven't you got any brains, Claire?
Why, it's Nancy Evans.
She didn't mean it about you being blind, Miss Evans.
Believe me, Miss Evans, I could bite my tongue out.
We're sorry about your accident.
We think you're real brave, just like your pictures.
We sure do.
You're an inspiration to everybody, Miss Evans. And if you think we won't go to see your pictures just
Shut up,
because...
Claire.
I wonder if you would be kind enough to help me. I'm confused. Actually, I'm lost.
Sure.
Leave her alone. I'm sorry, but she mustn't be helped.
Hey, what are you trying to do? Make it rougher on her than it already is.
Mr. Douglas knows best.
Come on, let's go.
All right, you got yourself into this, Miss Evans. Now try to get yourself out.
I'm in some kind of a trap. I need help.
I know. Call Lady. What are you looking for, Miss Evans? Pity? Or yourself?
Lady, come. Lady, forward. It's a net. tennis net. Oh, lady, no wonder we couldn't get out. We're on a tennis court.
Think you can make it now?
Oh, I think so. If I line myself up along with this net. Isn't it ridiculous? I've never been so excited about anything in my whole life. Just finding out I'm on a tennis court. Oh, Stuart, thank you.
Still have a long way to go, Nancy.
I know.
Well, that's enough for today. Take my arm, let's go home.
No, Stuart. I'll do it myself. Lady left. Lady left.
June Allyson will be back in a moment with the word about next week's star and story. For weeks, they've worked on a special project. Now, when it's time to present it, her boss is suddenly called out of town. So the assistant will have to take over alone. She'll certainly do her best. Everybody approves the report and the self-assured, well-dressed girl who presents it. After all, she knows her job, and she knows she looks her best in this richly textured crepe blouse of Dupont Dacron polyester fiber. Because of Dacron, her blouse stays pretty throughout a busy day. That evening, it's equally important that she look her best, so she selects another triumph from her wardrobe of blouses. This one is perfect for an evening out. It's made of Dacron and cotton, completely feminine in every detail. For that fresh, lovely look that lasts and lasts, always look for the fiber first. In blouses, look on the label for Dacron.
When you talk about a honeymoon, you automatically think of two people alone and very much in love. However, in our story next week entitled Trial by Fear, a honeymoon leads a couple into a frightening and most unusual adventure. Our star will be Mr. Chuck Connors. See you then. And in the meantime, when you go shopping, don't forget to look for the fiber first.
Miss Allison's gown is royal blue Dupont nylon and silk chiffon. Her evening coat is green acetate brocade.
Thank you so much for being with us. Good night.
DuPont Nylon, Orlon, and Dacron have brought you The DuPont Show with June Allyson. DuPont also brings you the DuPont Show of the Month. On Thursday, February 18th, Julie Harris and Sterling Hayden star in Edith Wharton's Ethan Frome.
This has been a 4-star production.